Playoffs are almost here. We know who's going to be involved. We certainly have some questions about all of these teams. The Chiefs we'll get to in a second. But first, on a scale from 1 to Nick Mullins heaving a ball downfield in the vague direction of a receiver, is that the high confidence? I feel like that's low confidence. Or I guess I'm very confident Nick Mullins will heave it downfield haphazardly. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you, Pete, in the Cowboys winning a road playoff game?
7. I mean, I just talked about why Bucs can beat them, but I still think the Cowboys are the better team, and
they stink on the road.
They can go there and win. Now, the question is, are you confident that they can win 2 on the road?
No.
How about 1? I mean, I don't know why you feel comfortable about them winning 1.
I'm 3.5 on the first game and then like a 1.
They should have beat Miami on Sunday on the road. What are you talking about?
They didn't, though. That's the problem.
I know, but they should have.
They don't have a win on the road.
0-4 on the road.
They do. Sorry, they beat the Giants on the road and the Panthers on the road.
And they should have beat the Eagles on the road too, by the way.
But they didn't. They should have.
They play the Eagles on the road in the playoffs. You don't think they can go win that game?
They can, but they haven't shown us this year they're capable of doing it.
You're just totally different at home.
7. I give it a 7.
Okay. I'm actually leaning towards the 3.5.
They also beat the Chargers on the road.
Sweet.
That's a neutral site at best. Brees, you want to give a number? You just gonna sit there.
My number is 5.
You just gonna middle it.
All right, Pete. On a scale of 1 to Nick Mullins heaving a ball downfield the vague direction of a receiver, how confident are you in the Chiefs receivers? A Chiefs receiver catching a game-winning touchdown.
4, but they ought to be worried about Travis Kelce too.
Ooh.
What's he done in the last 5 weeks? Anything?
Do you think that Taylor Swift has ruined Travis Kelce's career?
No. I think age might be catching up.
Is she a distraction to Travis Kelce?
No.
That's the same team.
Should Travis Kelce dump her before he ruins
Prince
his
is
football
trying
career?
so hard to get a Pete cutout on Twitter.
He's not getting a Pete cutout on Taylor Swift. You're not.
Pete being attacked by Swifties on Twitter would make my Christmas.
Is his distraction any more than some guy who goes home and gets berated by his wife for 12 hours a night? I mean, come on.
The distraction might be that Taylor Swift won't stop complaining to Travis Kelce that she has to be friends with Brittany Mahomes now.
Pete, do you know the other thing is too? By the way, he's at now having to do everything Travis Kelce is. George Kittle doesn't have to do everything. Andrews, when he was healthy, Sam Laporta doesn't have to do everything. Now Kelsey's the only show in town.
The ball, he's dropping easy passes. He never did that.
Pressing.
There's something going on with him. Here's the other thing. I heard this the other day. Taylor Swift's going back on tour to Japan, and it opens the day after the Super Bowl, I think. And somebody said, well, she'll have a tough decision if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're going to have to worry about that.
No, you're right.
I thought you were going to say she's going back on tour when the playoffs start and Travis Kelce can finally start paying attention again to football.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
All right. Any numbers for you guys? I'll say 4 is a good number. I like 4.
Yeah,
what's
4.
About Chiefs
receiver? Yeah, but
Chiefs receiver.
They figured it out last year.
Different players. Juju was there.
I don't think they're going to make a Super Bowl run because it doesn't go through. It's not going to go through Arrowhead now. But I do think that people are really discounting the idea that Mahomes and Travis Kelce can just get hot for 3 games.
They haven't, though. So I understand they can, but the way this team is constituted, the offensive line stinks.
Well, the tackles are really bad, and Creed Humphrey hasn't played as well as he did.
So we're just going to snap our fingers and say, oh, it's fine. What are they waiting for? Why aren't they couldn't beat the friggin' Raiders at home.
Who didn't complete a pass for 3 quarters.
I think they missed Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, how about that? That's another interesting storyline.
They get too cute, too. What the hell are they doing? You played football.
Classic Chiefs.
All right.
Did the Bengals beat them this week?
Who?
Stop it.
Yes,
they do.
Yes, they can win this week. They absolutely can.
Stop it.
Did Jake Browning turn into the pumpkin on against the Steelers?
No, it was against the Steelers. The Bengals suck against AFC North teams.
Hey, P, that was the Rick Spielman revenge game. So that Jake Browning got some Rick Spielman humble pie.
Bengals are 8-2. 8-2 this year again.
But Rick Spielman got back at him, though, because he turned into who he is. Brady Quinn gets mad at me all the time. You are.
Jake Browning is?
What?
Wait, what did Rick say?
No, Rick, Rick is the one that they said cut him and put him in the hotel room. Jake Browning was mad at it, and Rick Spielman. And we had Rick, we brought it up on the Sunday after he said that stuff, and Rick apologized. I'm sorry. So we always play, I'm sorry for him. That's all.
I just said Rick got back
now,
at him.
Jake Browning, you saw the clip where Jake Browning screams, they should have cut me.
Yeah.
Turns out they should have cut him.
Yeah, you are what you are. Yeah, every backup quarterback comes in and has 3 or 4 games. And everybody starts Josh Dobbs, no different. They start raving about him, Nick Mullins, and then they turn into who they are. You are who you are.
All right. On a scale of 1 to Nick Mullins, how confident are you in the Eagles calling a play other than the tush push on 4th and 1?
Oh, 0.
None.
Why would they?
0. Yeah.
No. How confident are you in the Eagles' offensive play calling on plays besides the tush push?
Oh, is that
0.
what the question is?
Also 0.
Yeah.
1.5.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I messed that up.
What I want to know, did it come out that what Devontae Smith was arguing with Sirianni about it at the end of the game? Did you see it?
No,
It's almost like he was asking to go in and play defense or something. It was he's told him, get out of here. You didn't see that?
I did not.
Yeah. And so, I have no confidence in their offense. They look lost at times on both sides.
They're the worst 10-4 team I've ever seen.
On both sides of the ball. You look at their defense. They have these wide gaps in their defensive line, and the holes are gigantic. That offensive line is terrible, and their holes are gigantic. Terrible.
All right. Scale of 1 to Nick Mullins. How confident are you in the Dolphins beating a winning team?
They just did it. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm reading producer Harry's lines, bro.
Oh, Harry's trying to set you guys up again. I know what Harry's up to.
I would say I'll say 5.5.
Stop.
Well, if they could beat the Ravens if they do. So you give it a 5.5 and 10 chance that they beat the Ravens this week.
I'm not confident in the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins still just scored 22 points against the Cowboys at home.
Cowboys
Shouldn't have won that
defense is good.
Cowboys should have won the game.
Yeah, the Cowboys should have won that game.
But they didn't. I don't understand.
But they didn't. But they should have.
The Ravens, the Dolphins have, against good teams, the Dolphins offense has looked substantially less explosive.
That's how it works.
What do they score this week against the Ravens?
20. Yeah, 20.
7? You said 7?
17.
Oh.
And the Ravens probably scored 20. I don't know what the over-under is.
45.
30 to 20.
45 to 17, Ravens beat the Dolphins.
Oh, my God.
You're crazy.
30 to 20.
He is crazy.
Prisoner of the moment. Prisoner of the moment alert.
Every week it's like a yo-yo.
How confident are you in the 49ers coming back from down more than 7 points?
Against who?
Anybody.
Anyone.
In the playoffs.
The Steelers, 100%. Anyone else, 0%.
They can do it.
What number?
Kyle
1 to 10.
Shanahan, 0-38.
They can do it. Why can't they do it?
Because they
Pete, let me ask you this. I talked about this last night on the podcast. Are we at the point in the conversation, because we talk about Lamar struggling in the postseason? Kyle Shanahan's worse than Lamar in the postseason, and it goes back a little bit.
Yeah. And he got, by the way, he got away with one last night when on that fourth and 1 call when he had the defensive holding, because that was the Kyle's a great offensive coordinator and a great play caller and a great head coach. But why don't you just run the ball there and get your first down? What was he doing?
When Purdy got sacked?
All I said right then, I go, it reminded me of take 3 knees and you kick a field goal and you win a Super Bowl in Atlanta. Remember? Take 3. They could have just taken 3 knees and they win a Super Bowl.
I don't disagree.
I thought this was interesting from Mike Sando. 49ers are 0-38, down 8+ in the fourth quarter under Kyle Shanahan. All teams win 7% of the time in those situations. 98, 1,337, and 4. KC is the best win percentage, 6-14, 30% of the time the Chiefs wins in those spots. Green Bay next, 7-34 with a 17.1% winning percentage. Seattle 1-38, Carolina 1-58, Indy 136-1, Baltimore 2-22, Dallas 2-37, New England 3-35. No one really wins these. Helps to be good at drop back passes. San Fran scheme, quarterback weakness equals drop back pass.
Well, that's not how they're constructed, but that doesn't mean they can't.
I'm just saying it's like they can't come back down from down 8+ in the fourth quarter. Like most teams aren't good at doing
Yeah, well, there's a big difference between doing it once and doing it never. If I've won the lottery once and you've won it 0 times, I feel pretty good about myself. So
That's
it's
the
like,
dunk button. You got
but
dunk
okay,
the
like
lottery.
these
No,
numbers-
are you
great that
equating
it
the
doesn't
lottery
happen
to a
often, but they've
skill?
never done it. They've never done it.
The lottery's
like-
complete random luck, dude. You just made your point.
No,
Irrelevant.
this is
What
I'm
do the
saying
stats look like when
0%
it's
is 0%.
7+?
It doesn't matter how bad the other percentages are.
I mean,
8+.
I bet the stats look different when it's 7+.
8 is eight's an interesting number because it takes out a bunch of
Yeah,
it's a bit
what's
of a
it,
cherry
7+?
pick.
So you make excuses for the 49ers, but the Dolphins, who beat a really good team, that's irrelevant. You got some
Why are you
wild.
sucking up to Harry Wilson?
I
Who
like
said
the
that?
Dolphins. Oh, Brinson. Brinson and Breach both hate the Dolphins with a passion of a million suns.
I do not hate the Dolphins. I love the Dolphins, both
like
the
the
team and the animal.
On a scale of 1 to Nick Mullins, how confident are you in the Lions defense making a critical stop?
Yeah, boy, not
0.
0.
great. It's
No,
not great.
they're about a 4. I worry about that defense. By the way,
They gave up
In a
11
big way.
They gave up 11 explosive plays on Sunday whenever they played over the weekend. That was double the next team, and that next team was the Ravens when they got those big chunks against Brock
There is
Purdy.
nothing better, by the way, than watching a Lions game with Rick Spielman.
Is he?
Oh my God.
All right.
Because his brother,
Wait,
his
Pete,
brother's
let me
in the
ask you
front
this.
office, so it's like he goes nuts.
Pete,
Nuts.
if Matthew Stafford played against the Lions in the playoffs, how many yards would he throw for? Over, under 400.
Well, that's a good number.
That's a high number. Come on,
Over, under 350.
Over. I think
over
it's- yeah, I
Over
think it's
500.
370. Over 370.
500 and a half over.
Imagine Stafford beating the Lions